The countdown is on to 2014, and if this ad is any indication, Obamacare will be a dominant political issue.
On healthcare, Jean Shaheen didn't tell the truth.
You can keep your insurance if you like it. It will increase choices for families. It will promote competition.
The facts. More than 20,000 New Hampshire patients have had their coverage canceled, and Obamacare offers only one insurer on New Hampshire's individual market. So next November, if you like your senator, you can keep her. If you don't, you know what to do.
Meanwhile, in Utah, 7-term Democrat Congressman Jim Matheson just dropping out of the race. And even though he voted against Obamacare, his district was still considered vulnerable. We called him and hope to have him on soon. Mia Love was Matheson's Republican opponent. Mia, welcome. Merry Christmas. Do you think the fallout over Obamacare played a role in his decision, in that decision?
Well, yes, a little bit. And I have to say, let's be clear, he voted against the repeal of Obamacare also before it went to the Supreme Court. And that was a problem, and he couldn't get rid of that. Also, he has his own flyer out that stated that, that had Obama with a quote that said, Jim Matheson was the only one in the Utah delegation that voted for my health care bill. And so, you know, these were his own flyers. But let me just explain something. Since March 23rd, 2010, since this law passed, 287 major opinion polls were done. And all but 2 of them stated that the majority of Americans, over 50% of Americans, did not want this health care law. Fox News did one, and it showed 67% wanted to delay the individual mandate, and 54% of Democrats wanted to delay the individual mandate. So these polls aren't telling us what we already know, which is Americans do not want this health care bill. What the polls are telling us is that Congress has failed to respond to the will of the American people, and we're going to feel this in the next coming election.
Sure. So you don't have a primary challenger right now, and that may change, may not. But what would your suggestion to other people, other Republicans who are looking at seats that may be vulnerable, would you tell them to run on Obamacare and solely Obamacare?
Well, I think that we've certainly, well, that's one, but I think that we need to be really smart. Republicans do not have this in the bag. I mean, we have a lot of work to do in terms of letting people know that we are the party, the compassionate party. We are the party of the American dream, and that we're out there trying to do whatever we can to make sure that people are independent, that they don't need a federal government doing everything for them, that we can actually get out and the American people can have some say in what happens in their homes and be able to keep a little bit of money in their pockets to care for their own families.
May I pivot a little bit? All the news, all the rage this week has been the A&E's pulling, at least temporary pulling of Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty, putting him on to at least temporary suspension. Do you care to weigh in? And could you care to weigh in on this, please?
Well, all I can say is Phil is entitled to his opinion. I actually like Duck Dynasty. It's one of those shows that I can sit down and watch with my kids and not worry about the content that's going to come out of that program. And you know, A&E has the opportunity, if they want to, has the choice of letting Phil go. As far as my family and I, we would prefer to have Duck Dynasty on with Phil. And so, you know, he's entitled to his opinion, and I don't think anything that he has said was offensive to me.
Sure, and
to me or anybody else.
At one point, Cracker Barrel had pulled some of the Duck Dynasty merchandise off their shelves. Within, I believe, a day, they put it back on and issued an apology via Facebook. Maybe A&E should do the same thing. Get these guys back on right away.
You know, and also the other thing that we need to point out is my parents always taught me to not be a victim, that other people's opinions should not affect me, that I should be comfortable in who I am and what I believe in. And, you know, I think, you know, Phil is entitled to his opinions. And so, you know, like I said, I like Duck Dynasty. I hope that they'll come out to Utah and hang out with us for a little bit. But, you know, I think that it's one of those shows that I can watch with my kids and not have to worry about the content that's coming out.
Very good. Very good. Mia Love, good luck and Merry Christmas, Mia.
Merry Christmas to you.
All right, T-minus 2 hours.